LGBTQ night at City Field, I guess. Oh, yeah! It's Nick! Great show for you tonight. How are you, folks, on a Friday night in Burbank? Got a terrific actress. Faye Dunaway will be with us. And a little black kid on a show called What's Happening? Fred Berry. Very funny show. And a woman I'd love to bang. Delicious tits. Suzanne Plachette. Yeah, Bob Hartley. And okay. All right. Ed, how are you? Pretty good, sir. Anyhow.
I want all of you to enjoy your cake. So, enjoy.
I don't know, but I've been told big leg woman ain't got no soul. All right. What's going on? I don't know. I was telling Dallas I could have been here a half hour. The guitar, nobody told me it's addicting. Once you learn how to... I'm at a point now when I hear a song on the radio, I go, ooh. I'm going to go home and learn that intro. And I can in about fucking 10 minutes. It's the other 400 bars in the song I have trouble with. I don't want to be that guy that knows 19 introductions, you know. But come on. Carlos Santana, smooth. Or as the brothers say, smooth. Yeah, I'm having a blast with that friggin' thing. The fingers are just, they're cooked. Meanwhile, the wife's upstairs at night going, he never comes up here. Anyhow, anything happen? Big? Since yesterday? What did I do? Nothing. Hey guys, please take a moment and click the share button to share today's episode with a friend or an enemy, coworker. Nothing helps the show grow as much as word of mouth and to Viagra. And I thank all of you who have continued to let people know about us. And it is growing. I'm getting excited. Yeah, the wife lets me know every day how many people. Everybody's moving over and staying with us, which is a great sign. But we're getting 8, 10 new patrons, and a lot of them are signing up for the yearly plan. So they won't be pestered every month. So thank you. And yeah, I appreciate that very much. Now let's get on with this extravaganza. Headline, Trump filed motion. He disapproves. Boy, let me fucking do that again. I wrote the fucking thing and it stinks. Trump's filed motion to disprove FBI's notion. Okay, who am I, fucking Maya Angelou? Former President Donald Trump filed a motion requesting an independent review of the documents seized from Mar-a-Lago during an FBI raid on his home earlier this month. Still can't believe that happened, but Trump's motion for judicial oversight and additional relief requests the court appoint a special master. What is this, I Dream of Jeannie? There you go, master. Special master. Anytime somebody's called me that, I'm usually in leather whippets. Prohibit the FBI from further review of the seized documents until the special master really is appointed. Order the government to release a more detailed property receipt and return any items seized that was not within the search warrant's scope, like Melania's dirty underwear. They won't let go of that for some reason.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm the FBI, man.
Who the fuck do you
I'm
think
the
you are?
FBI, brother. You heard me, you straw-haired... What? The property receipt released shortly after the Mar-a-Lago raid only mentions nondescript items, including miscellaneous top-secret documents. Somebody probably just wrote the... You know what's in there? A bunch of sporks, like I said. Some old underwear, his thigh master, or his thigh... Is that what it's called? Leather-bound box of documents and various classified SCI documents. Trump's motion comes just days after he announced he would file a Fourth Amendment motion concerning the illegal break-in. Somebody puts that in quotes. Probably didn't like Trump that wrote this. Why do that? Because that's what it was, you cheese. Why do I say cheese? I love cheese. Anyways, his lawyer is about to let people know. What up?
Counselor!
Here he is telling Merrick Garland to pull his finger. Go ahead, pull it. I just came from Taco Bell. You know how I love those, the bowls made of chips. You eat the bowl after. Go ahead, I dare you. In a statement after Trump's attorneys filed the motion, Trump noted the FBI wanted Mar-a-Lago staff to turn off the estate's security cameras during the raid. See, that doesn't raise any red flags, does it?
Fuck you!
And that's the answer.
Fuck you!
That was Donald Jr.
Fuck you!
Or whoever was home. It was the other brother, actually, Eric. Trump also laid to rest claims that the FBI seized any classified documents. Like I said, he's made an ass out of everybody in Washington 10 times over now. They're like terrorists. All they need is one, right? To be successful once. And don't tell me, could you shut the cameras off while we plant some crap in there? We are now demanding that the Department of Justice be instructed to immediately stop the review of documents illegally seized from my home, Trump said. All documents have been previously declassified. We are further demanding that the DOJ be forced to turn over a real, without plans, exactly, inventory of my property that was taken. What if they find a crack pipe from Hunter and there's where the property is now located, Trump continued. We are demanding that all items wrongfully taken, they did a smash and grab from my home, immediately returned, what he said.
Hear ye! Hear ye! The court's in session. The court's in session now. Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
What happened to the special master? The case was assigned to, this was kind of good news, but again, I don't know, to Judge Eileen M. Cannon. Not a bad looker for a get up under that robe. Look at the tits on that one. A Trump appointee of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida. So, he's a Trump appointee. Again, you're supposed to be, blind to that when you're a judge, but the lib judges don't seem to be blind. They seem to be enforcing the law on the right. The case is Trump versus United States government for the 98th time. Should put this on pay-per-view. It's like a rubber match. Number 22, CV 81294-AMC. What's it, already going into the movie theaters? In the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida. So let's hope, I don't know. This is why it's impossible. Like I said, everybody's a little biased. How dare you send a guy to prison that actually appointed you? Isn't that kind of, how is that not like, well, I guess because that's what the presidents do, they appoint you, but that's sort of a conflict of interest. I mean, it happens all the time, and that's how it works. I want to see the special master. He sounds like a real hunk. Oh, so yeah, Trump, let's get that special master. Who decides whether they agree on that? The judge? Does she say, yes, let's bring in a special? I don't understand it. I keep my nose clean. I don't break the law. You know what I'm saying? And when I do, I'm Italian. I know how to do it without getting heat on me. My wife's got a record, but that's a whole different other thing. Let's move on to a second story. This headline caught my eye. Stick diversity up your mother's twat. I got that from Brett Baer, a special report. Can you imagine? A video, can you imagine how good news would be if it was just honest? And a video tweeted by U.S. Representative Mayra Flores, Republican, Texas. We like her a lot. Remember she had the big upset in Texas, that district that's been blue for 1,000 years? Shows a migrant resisting arrest by San Diego sector Border Patrol agents. So folks, I'm going to show you this footage, and it's kind of, I kept thinking of the Romans when a guy gets thrown to the lions and everybody's cheering. Right. But this, I want you to keep in mind, these are scumbag immigrants, illegal, who are already committing violence against U.S. law enforcement. They're not even in the goddamn country yet. And by the way, most of those planes that Biden's been dropping people off, all young males. You haven't seen a family in sight, they said, for the last month. Okay? So I'm just preparing you. I'll say it one more time. One thing Biden's doing is make me not regret that I'm 60. But check this out, and this will be coming to a neighborhood near you. This guy thought he was at the beach. Look what they've done to our country. Look at this. Look at all the people are cheering, watching. Look at immigrants cheering on the bad guy. Here comes Reggie White. He bum rushes the tackle. Back to pass. Ow! That's a loss of 11 yards. Okay. Can you imagine? And not getting the respect of the president being ICE Border Patrol guy. Can you frickin' imagine? That's coming to a theater near you. There you go.
No come mierda, sal de puta.
¿Qué te estás haciendo ahora?
You're gonna hear that at the mall. Lady with 11 kids. I used to have a great joke, Dallas, I think you'll appreciate. I said I got behind a Mexican woman in the store today playing the lottery. She was playing a kid's birth dates. I was there for 4.5 hours. Pepe on the 2nd, Jose on the 23rd.
Wait, no. Pepe on the 23rd.
Pepe on the 23rd. Why say and then they win all the time. The sound of crowds on the Mexican side of the border can be heard cheering like it's UFC. The fighting migrant to it. It says migrant. I'm guessing he's an illegal. I don't know. Either way, I don't care. Well, of course it can't be legal. You wouldn't be going that way. Attacks the agent. The cheer turns into jeers. That's bad, folks. That's like booing. As the agents gain control of the little future rapist. And that gets a jeer, okay? God help us, huh? Let you try to hit your pillow at night at like midnight, you hear. Coming from the kitchen next door. And I don't mean to pick on, I defend Latinos all the time here. You know that. So I don't know. Let's pretend he's from Guatemala. I don't know. Whatever. You get the point. They have no respect already for law enforcement in this country.
Now imagine the treatment on the other side, going into Mexico like that.
Yeah, try doing that to a couple of Mexican cops. They'll get Pablo Escobar's cousin, who's still alive, I believe. Give you a good whipping. Anyhow, I had nothing for that. Hey, Breitbart, Texas, boy, they're all over the place. Reached out. Do you guys know that Andrew Breitbart used to call my house and stuff? I didn't even know who he was when he first reached out. I heard of Breitbart News. I didn't know his background. I didn't know that he actually did stand up and stuff. And he said he liked this guy. And then he just drops dead on him. That was a killer. Breitbart, Texas reached out to Rep. Flores' office and to the San Diego Border Patrol Sector headquarters for additional information regarding this incident. Biden will come out and watch and go, hey, they're whipping that migrant. This time they're really whipping him. An immediate response was not available from the congressional office as usual. What are they going to say? Border Patrol officials responded and advised the FBI is leading the investigation into the assault on the agents. Don't worry, folks. Forget about it. It's over. What are you going to do, even if Trump wins in a couple of years or whoever? Do you understand they're pouring in by literally 1 million a year or whatever? And they keep using that number, 11 to 22 million like yesterday. It's got to be double that. And how are you going to get them out? What's happening now is permanently damaging the hard drive of this country. Oh, you're a racist and a bigot. Shut the fuck up. There's no way this can help a country. Average education level, about 7th grade. Women coming over pregnant. Oh, yeah, they're running from all kinds of dick. Apparently they're not. I'm sorry, folks. I lost my poo-poo. If you travel, we got a sponsor. We did this before, but good company. If you travel for your job as much as I do, you certainly don't have time to be nauseous. If nausea is getting in the way of enjoying life's important moments, I've got your fix. Relief Band. Relief Band has been clinically proven to quickly relieve and prevent anxiety-induced nausea and vomiting. It's like the name says. It's a band you wear on your wrist to give you relief from nausea caused by anxiety, motion sickness, migraines, hangovers, morning sickness, or chemotherapy, my wife's meatloaf. You change the intensity depending on how you're feeling to make it stronger or weaker, easier. When we went to, and they sent me one, and I swear to God it works. When we went to, that wedding, my niece's wedding in Ohio, we had like a 10-hour drive, and I let the wife drive a couple hours, and I wasn't feeling good. And I put the thing on. I don't know, maybe it was a coincidence, but I had an acidy stomach. It went away, so I don't know. On my last trip to LaGuardia, the plane was bouncing all over the sky. I was so glad to have Relief Band. Relief Band's 100% drug-free, non-drowsy, provides long-lasting relief with 0 side effects. So if you are finally taking that summer trip that's been on your calendar since 2020, I got good news. Right now, you can join the over 100,000 Relief Band users with an exclusive offer just for my listeners. If you go to reliefband.com, use promo code NICKDIP. You'll receive 20% off plus free shipping and no questions asked, 30-day money-back guarantee. Remember, it's better to have Relief Band and not need it than to need it and not have it. So head to reliefband.com. Use our promo code at NickDip for 20% off plus free shipping. We thank them for sponsoring the show. Headline, Janelle Wong, lying whore. Again, you don't hear that on CNN enough. This one really curdled my blood, almost as bad as the last one. San Francisco Chronicle, which is a paper, was torched online by many. Now, here's where I'm going to do you a little Nick DiPaolo, how to read the news. Excuse me. And by many who criticized an article focusing on disinformation about attacks on people of Asian descent instead of the brutal attacks themselves. So right away, they're criticizing this for the wrong reason. I'll explain in a second. The Chronicle reported on a study claiming that some social media accounts are trying to push a political agenda, meaning right-wing accounts, by using the attacks on Asians to criticize media coverage and Democratic politicians.
Will you shut up?
What you?
Will you please shut up?
You see how they see the truth and they can't handle it? All that criticism of the media in this situation is justified. We can prove it with a pen and a paper. The report claimed that the motivation behind the campaign was to distract Asian Americans from hate crimes perpetrated by, hold now, white people. Yeah, that's right. White people. White people. That's who's beating up old Asian ladies. It's obvious if you look at the clips. This is out and out left-wing propaganda. And I'm not saying white people don't do anti-Asian stuff. First of all, we make up 68% of the country. So if you go by percentages, guess who's in the lead? Guess who's going to win the American League East again in violence? If you're wondering why they would do that, consider that San Francisco data. Listen to this from the FBI show white people. You mean the FBI that's calling us domestic terrorists? Oh, really? So I'm supposed to believe this, Sally Wong? Oh, make me a kitten in orange. What? I have no idea. From the FBI show white people are largely behind local hate crimes. And a national report by Janelle Wong. You're dead, Wong. Janelle. You're dead Wong on this one. A professor of American and Asian American Studies at the University of Maryland, College Park. You look like you hate white people. Shows white people are largely behind the reported hate crimes throughout the United States. Really?
You can't handle the truth.
Do you ever get out of your little bubble, Miss Wong? Huh? Why don't you go to New York City and walk around about midnight? Walk from Chinatown, even go through your people's day. Go through Chinatown and head north. And go ahead. Let's see what happens. Do it at around 1 a.m. You could do it at 10 p.m. It doesn't matter. Many on social media lambasted. Here comes why people are so dumb. Many on social media lambasted the report for what they saw as political bias. Most media coverage of this issue is awful. You would be more informed about it if you literally consumed no media, which he's right, and just spoke to people in your local Chinatown association, tweeted Zahir Jalani. I don't trust you either. How about that? I'm a racist. He came as close to the truth as he's saying, kind of what I'm saying. Go talk to the Asian people and ask them who's beating them up. That's the only way you're going to get the truth. I hope you meant it that way, you dope. But the people online that are upset, they're saying that she's politicizing this. They're not upset that it's completely wrong, in my opinion. That if you look at every clip on the internet, not every, but almost every one, it's a black person beating the shit out of an old Chinese lady. Or throw them in front of a subway. I've done 10 stories like this. Well, that doesn't mean, no, but I'll tell you what it does. That doesn't mean I didn't say that. Not every attack, but for every one white guy that's attacking an Asian person, I'd say there's about 50. That's about right, the ratio. You're exaggerating, Nick. No, I'm not. So I went online to look at a few clips. I could have spent, first of all, I looked for white clips. And if you people, again, you're my fans, you don't think like this, but the libs will go, well, that's because they only show the ones who are black. Really? In 2022, where they're raiding a former president's house and anybody who supports him is a terrorist, they wouldn't be putting anything we do wrong online? This is a great segment I'm doing. I all sound smart here. My neck. I must be telling the truth. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just pulled a couple. Honest to God, I could have stayed up till 3 a.m. This is Mrs. Wong. Just a little reminder of who's doing this shit.
Seen on surveillance video, walking up from behind, knocking her to the ground, and punching her 125 times in her face and head before stomping and spitting on her.
That's an old black woman in the lobby of her building. Black guy comes in. I think we read about him. Wasn't he just out of jail, whatever? About 320 pounds. Soccer punches her, punches that they counted 120 times. Used her as a heavy bag, then stomped her and spit on her. Somebody show me your white equivalent. Somebody send it in of something at least that heinous. Not a believer, Mrs. Wong? Okay, let's take a look at the next one.
You hit me, fool!
What do you hit me for? He starts lying the minute he does it.
Why you hit me?
Why you hit me? You hear him? Look at that white supremacist, huh?
There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind.
So, Mrs. Wong, Miss Wong, whatever your lying face is, if you stay in San Francisco area long enough, ask Patton Oswalt, your fucking mind gets bent. I remember, like I said, I spent 6 weeks out there doing that comedy competition. It's palpable, the stupidity of the left. I don't know what happened out there. And it's not just there anymore. I don't know why this country will defend people of color to the point where, here's the best barometer. When you watch the news, some black guy commits a heinous crime on tape, whatever, gets away, and they won't mention his race. That is fucking insane. That's going beyond just protecting. That's irresponsible. Because you could walk by that guy next and get whatever. Can you imagine we can't say black male 5'9", 180, at least on the big news outlets. You know what I mean? It's fucking insane. Why? Because of because of slavery? I don't get it. That's what's like destroying the fabric of this country as far as race goes. It's insane. You can't describe. Anyhow, I smacked this Chinese lady, but she was asking for it. I would never do that. But I tell you, when I told you, they get pretty pushy. Not anymore, I'm guessing. But when I lived in New York, you're trying to get on a subway, nothing's more dangerous than an old Chinese lady. They able to drop an elbow into you. You go, why? All right. Anyhow. So, Miss Wong, you're full of shit. And so, whatever. And I like to know what you're considering a white hate crime against an Asian woman. If you look at them wrong, it's probably considered, right? You bump into them by accident. Stealing NyQuil. I don't know. Let's stay on white people. Well, Dana White comes clean about Tom Brady. This is very interesting to me. First thing I saw, I said, I'm putting that in the show. Rob Gronkowski, Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer, and strong, funny Pollock, pried open the door to a new what if on Saturday night when he got UFC president Dana White, who looks great, by the way. He looks like he's dropped about 40 pounds, to discuss the recruiting, both him and Tom Brady. Dana White was recruiting Gronk and Brady to the Raiders. This is the year, a couple of years ago, when they won the Super Bowl. It's already been a couple of years, right, Dale?
Yeah.
Look how he almost looks like Rogan.
Yeah.
So he was doing this podcast. Dana called in with Gronk and all these other dudes, kind of a sports show. And Gronk kind of said, tell him about the ba-ba-ba. And listen to that. I didn't hear any of this. Did you? He kept it nice and secret, but go ahead.
It's still there. You would have signed it then.
You would have been.
Listen to this.
I would have been.
I'm the one. I worked to put that deal together for Brady and Gronk to come to the Raiders. And it was almost a done deal. And at the last minute, Gruden blew the deal up and said that he didn't want him. And all hell broke loose, man. It was crazy. And Brady was already looking at houses, and it wasn't being said yet that Gronk was coming. So Las Vegas would have had Brady and Gronk the year that the Bucs won the Super Bowl, except Gruden blew the deal up. And there's so much story that goes along with this behind the scenes, and I was never going to tell that story till Gronk just said it, but yeah.
And Dana,
let me tell you what, Brady was not happy.
And you just told the story.
Outsmarted by Gronk.
Wow.
Breaking news. UFC 278 with the Gronk. John Gruden screwed up.
All right.
Going to the...
Interesting, right? You know how many Raiders fans are hanging themselves today? Can you picture? Oh my God, Brady and Gronk and a Raiders. First of all, Raiders have the best uniform in all of sports, in my opinion. I always had a sweet spot for the Raiders because I told you my dad loved the Raiders in the 70s when they were all criminals. my dad really loved that team, and you know what? I did too. Can you imagine fucking Gronk in a Raiders uniform? Dana White, does he live an interesting life at all? And he's not kidding. There's no reason to lie about that. I wonder if Al Davis's kid, I forget his first name, who runs the Raiders, knew about this when it was happening or just found out now. Oh, my God. Anyways, White said, I didn't want to talk about that, but Gronkowski sort of sucked me into it on live TV, White told reporters. And he said, yeah, it's true. I talked to Brady into playing for the Raiders, and Gronk was coming with him, and they were negotiating the deal, and they were really close to getting it done. And then Gruden pulled the deal.
If that's a fact, tell me, am I lying?
I wonder why Gruden did that. If Gruden thought his abilities were diminishing, meaning Brady, that was clearly a mistake as Brady celebrated another Super Bowl victory at the end of the season. Evidently, he could have done so in Vegas. Again, you don't know. They could have won 500. You can't assume they'd win it, but you know damn well they would have had a better shot than they did. Perhaps there even would have been a parade down the strip. That would have involved 9 shootings. We'll never know. And then White says this, I own a fucking box there, meaning Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play. I wanted Brady and you know what I mean? Exactly what Gruden's logic was in blowing up the deal is unclear. He didn't turn out to be long for the head coaching job, resigning last October after emails in which he says shit we always say it is. He used homophobic and sexist language. Wasn't it racist, too? It was racist. Why are they hiding that? Yeah. But I don't, and again, Coach, I know you're not watching the show. I hope you are. You didn't do anything wrong. You did zero wrong. You've spent your whole life working with young black guys. Racists don't go into coaching football. You get that, folks? And what did he say? The cheerleader has nice tits. He was being a fucking guy, but he's a nice blonde white guy. Well, let's cancel him. He was great for football. I bet you he gets hired back eventually after the revolution. Imagine sexist and homophobic comments.
That's faggot stuff.
Well, it is.
You want to call it by its name, that's strictly for fags.
Hey, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. I'm back in your area in 3 weeks. Of course, it's going to take 11 flights to get there because I refuse to fly into Kennedy or LaGuardia and then rent the car because it's never, ever worked, ever. September 9th, I'll be at Soul Joel's in Royersford. Excuse me. I'm a little nervous because, I don't know. I always say this, and then I show up and rip the tits off the crowd. September 10th, the next night, at the Algonquin Arts Theater in Manasquan. And then the next night, September 11th, at the Sugarloaf Performing Arts Center in Chester, New York. Get tickets to all these shows, plus my Florida shows, at nickdip.com. Click on the tour button. Let's move on to a guy I almost got into it with on a Larry the Cable Guy roast. Hey, has anybody heard the clip of Rogan and Louis talking about me? People keep telling me. I walked into this bar I hang out with down here, and this guy was all thrilled. This redneck picks me up, he hugs me. I didn't know you, brother. All excited. We got a movie star to sit here. I go, dude, take it down. Yeah, I'm a movie star. I'm in a bar with 3 people. Nobody knows me. But it was funny. But I keep people telling me that they were talking, saying nice things. And of course, I go on YouTube to find it, and I have 48 clips of that show. None of them talking about it. I don't know. Anyways, why'd I bring this up? I don't know. That's why. I did a Comedy Central roast years ago, roasting Larry the Cable Guy, and I pissed off cuckoo Gary Busey. Headline, dope accused of grope. Gary Busey denied that he groped women. Look at the face. Look at the small eye and the big eye. Guilty. This guy, he scares me. Luckily, he's in his late 70s. He groped a woman at a convention in New Jersey last week, saying his accusers made up the allegation. I would love to believe you, Gary, but everybody knows you're crazy as a shithouse rat. What are you doing at some nerdy convention? But he's saying the woman made it all up. So
Liar, whore, and you know it.
The 79-year-old actor who was charged Friday with criminal sexual contact for allegedly fondling 2 women said the interaction with his accusers was actually brief and uneventful. Well, you just admitted you had an event there. It's like an interference call. We're gonna have to look at the replay. It was brief. What was brief?
Well, I only had my hand on his waist and his jersey.
Exactly. That's all he's gonna say. My right arm's around her hip. My left one's on her tip by accident. That's not a flag. Anyways, let's listen to Cuckoo Gary filling up his car in Malibu or somewhere out there. Go ahead.
What happened at the event? The women said that you groped them. Didn't happen? Not true?
None of that happened. I was
Is that why you're incognito?
a partner and a camera lady and me, 2 girls. The owner was in there. It took less than 10 seconds.
Touch your tits.
And they left. Then they made the story that I assaulted them sexually when I did not.
The story's not true.
The guy kept hounding him. The story's not true. He goes, listen. First of all, you're talking too fast. I can't hear you. That's what he said.
Retard alert. Retard alert.
That's what I said to him. I was going to show you the clip on Comedy Central when I was roasting Larry the Cable Guy. You know how you go after the people on the dais first. I said, Gary Busey's here tonight. How long does it take for a brainstem injury to heal? I go, apparently damaged every part of the brain but the asshole lobe. He stands up and he starts to walk towards me. And Larry gets in the way. And Larry goes, he's almost done. It was a fun moment. I like crazy guys. I like Gary. But and after the show I told you, he comes up and he goes, I played college. I go, so did I. I'm sure he probably played somewhere bigger than I did. But he's crazy. He'd be crazy. And again, do you guys remember? You guys don't remember, he had a horrible accident on a motorcycle. Brains were almost splattered. And look at it. Busey was charged with several counts of criminal sexual conduct and harassment. Charged, but not convicted. This after he allegedly put his face close to a woman's breast and asked where she got them. Big deal. Come on. Is that a hanging offense? The woman claims he attempted to unlatch her bra strap. I don't know who to believe. Another woman claims he grabbed her butt. Cops also got a call from a man who claimed Busey grabbed his daughter's butt as well.
That boy is a P.I.G. pig.
Busey also claims he has witnesses, a photographer and another person, his partner, who will back up his story. The photographer asked if it's possible he could have acted inappropriately but was unaware. He said there was absolutely no chance of that.
Just the facts, ma'am.
I don't know, man. I get mixed feelings about Gary. It was something nerdy, not Star Trek, but something like that. Anyways, Gary, I'm surprised he's still alive. Busey is supposed to be arraigned August 31st. So I say we all take a plane over there and see what up. Finally tonight on Meet the Cheesemakers, Berkeley blacks bonkers. You know, as time goes on, these black people that don't like white people, it's an intensity, a dislike. Let me tell you the biggest lie in the last 60 years in this country is how black people feel about white people. For the most part, they hate your guts. I think you guys know that. Even the nice ones, yeah, they fucking hate you. Good to be with you. See you tomorrow. Not all of them, obviously, but I'm just saying. And it's changing. Younger generation, I think an off-campus housing co-op, listen to this, right out of George Wallace's playbook. I hope you're happy. An off-campus housing co-op for students at the University of California, Berkeley. Can we just burn this piece of shit communist incubation center down? Named the Person of Color Theme House. That's the name of the play. Person of Color. Why didn't I do a reverse the races on those? Drop it in. How about, imagine Person of White Skin Theme House. Has banned white guests, I'll repeat that, banned white guests, because they're racist, from the common areas. Can you imagine? Fuck your mother! The move was made to protect black students from, get this, what's it protecting them from? White violence, and microaggressions, and weaponized white tears. What in God's name?
Oh, poor you.
What the fuck is a weaponized tear?
Do you see how deep the hate runs? I guarantee it's mostly black young women, I swear to God. Look at Berkeley's, black people, black students, do you know your history? Do you know about George Wallace and Bull Connor? Do you understand you're using the very methods? I hope you're proud of yourself. You're the most racist pieces of garbage on the planet. And you white people out of Berkeley, you have lack of balls, I don't even know what to say. And again, if you're a student, you probably don't want to get kicked out of school, because if you look at somebody wrong. As reported by the New York Post, the 5-story, 30-room building requires students to declare their race when signing in and to announce when they're bringing white guests. Here's what's funny. White students should be doing the exact thing to black students. And you're going to go, Nick, why are you saying? I'm just saying, white violence? They want to be protected from white violence? Come again? So you got to say, these are people who want a colorblind society, by the way. They want you to sign in and tell your race. into the building. The outlet writes, citing the House rules that were leaked on Reddit.com, tell you that they have to sign in if you're like white. Many people of color moved here to be able to avoid white, again, violence.
I know what you did. You're a damn terrorist. All right, just get the hell
White violence! White violence! And presence, so respect. And it says, so respect, meaning they're talking to white people. So respect their decision of avoidance. So respect their decision to hate your guts and to discriminate against. If you bring white guests per the rules. White guests are not allowed in common spaces. Now, you white pussy students out there at Berkeley, why you aren't sitting in there like they would do with signs and shit? I mean, hundreds of you. Are you afraid you might get in a fist fight? Is that what it is? Where does your cowardice come from? Honestly. You want to go viral? Go viral for something good once in your life. Instead of sticking a carrot in your sister's ass while she's sleeping. What? I have no idea. The Person of Color Theme House also urges students to avoid bringing family members that express bigotry, according to, like you're going to bring your dad and he's going to look at them and go,
I don't know what you're smiling at, watermelon.
He has to leave immediately. The rules have sparked outrage among some students, prompting, and here comes El Cowardo, Adam Ratliff, I can tell by his name. Yeah, look at him. What joy. Is that a commercial for fucking dishwashing liquid? Look at him. Look at this is guy that's going to stand up against angry black people. Adam Ratliff, Assistant Director of Media Relations and Critical Communications, to issue a statement to the Post noting that the co-op housing is not run by the university, so the school will not comment as it is not campus operated. Boy, did you weasel out of that one, you little pussy. Do you believe that? It's not operated by the school, but you don't have an opinion anyways? You know, let me hear your opinion. Put all that aside. Do you think it's right? And he still, can you imagine that's his strongest statement? Well, it's not, so I'm not going to, chicken shit. Just, again, reverse it. Reverse it. Pretend Adam's a black guy and white students want their own space. And then you think the black guy would go, well, the school doesn't run it, I'm not going to say anything. They'd be like, fuck no, we're going to go in there tonight and cut their throats. Am I exaggerating? Maybe. I don't give a shit. You get the point. Anyways, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I want to thank all of you. This is great. You notice the thank yous are coming back because people are signing up. A little bit of marketing goes a long way. I want to thank all of you guys and gals that moved from the Comics Gym to Patreon in the last day. If you haven't already moved, just go to patreon.com/The Nick DiPaolo Show. We have levels for all budgets, even dead-ass broke. Because who made that one up? They doing this shit without me? Even dead-ass broke, because anyone can watch the daily show there for free. Meaning, where? Oh, at Patreon. Where? What are they talking about? Oh, my site. What are they talking about? Members get special content and swag. So thank you to Just Jerking Off, New York. It must be Eric Adams. Alexander Gore, Chris C., Chris Mady, Emily Vanata, Jacobus Olivier, Laura Ann McGlory. You pronounce that, the G and the L and I become Miori, something like that. The Italian. Chad Baltrisk, Kevin Parker, and Kevin McCardle, Eleanor Roosevelt's Teeth, a.k.a. Chuck B., Joe again, Michael Chisalese, and then Mike Albazoo. Gee, what is this, a SAT test? Jesus Christ. Anyways, all those people I just mentioned, the last 5, signed up for the full year and got a 10% discount. I also want to welcome our newest patrons, Ari Willett, Jeff Donald, thank God, Machinist 97, Big V 3100, Jason MB, Kurt Gubitz, love that one, Ryan C. Foster, Mike, one-time contributions, Eddie Schmidt, And that is it. Thank you guys so much. And the show's growing. Spread the word on Facebook, everything, because it's becoming an outrage. What's going on in this country? We're under attack. That is it. Don't forget Cameo.com if you want me to roast a friend or relative. Go to Cameo.com, click on my profile. I'll make a little video busting balls or saying happy birthday to Auntie Diane, the one with the club foot and the lazy eye. That is it. You guys think it, I'll say it. You're very welcome. We'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow. Take care, everybody.